Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well. I'm Sean, and I'm going to go over some Mandela Effect stuff with you guys today. I'm going to review my best understanding of how in the heck is it possible that human beings are seeing different realities, or at least on the surface appear to be different realities. How is it that Berenstain Bears is gone? Berenstain Bears is the only thing that's ever been. So explaining that stuff, no one has all of the answers or all of the understanding. What I do is I try to pull upon my past knowledge and try and figure out to the best of my ability how Mandela effect experiences play into what I already have come to understand about the nature of physical reality. Okay, so when you're sleeping at night and you dream, you're in the dream world. We're assuming you're not having a lucid dream. A lucid dream is where you awaken within the dream and realize, indeed, it is a dream, and then you have control over the dream. It's amazing if you can do this. Some people do this all the time. I've done it maybe 5 or 6 times ever. It is so cool. One of the times I literally flew. It was awesome. I'm like, oh, this is a dream. Okay, boom, and I was flying. But yeah, so in the dream world, while you're sleeping at night in your bed and you're dreaming, if something seems different, out of place, unusual, impossible, almost always without fail, you roll with it. You go with it. You don't question it, and you don't be like, "Oh my god, this is a dream. Oh my god." No. Usually you roll with it, and if your house looks the same on the outside, you go inside, it's totally different. All of a sudden you're like at your friend's house. Oh yeah, that's fine. Or it's the middle of summer, but your car's stuck in the snow. Oh, that's fine. Or your friend is your friend, but no, now they're not your friend. They've changed into someone else. Oh, that's fine. You just roll with it. But if you're lucid, if you're aware that it's a dream while you're dreaming, then you see it for what it is, and then you can control and change it because you are creating that dream world. Because you're in your bed sleeping, right? You're creating that dream world, right? Because it's a dream. This physical world that we live in is also very much like a dream. The way this physical reality operates, it's very similar to the dream world. We also create this reality from within. We also can control it. It happens very slow. It's so dense in the physical reality that when you control or shape or create your own reality, you create your future, you manifest. These are all different words describing things that are hard to fully grasp in words, but you create it as you go. But it happens slowly. Law of attraction, it's happening faster. Energy is different now. It's happening faster these days. But overall, in the physical dimension, the law of attraction, it happens slowly. You slowly pull things into your reality. It's happening quicker now, but it's still quite slow compared to other realms. Like wherever the heck you are, when your body fails and you cease to exist physically, boom. That reality that you return to from which you came from, instant manifestation. In the dream world, when you're having a lucid dream, you're sleeping at night and you're in the dream, you're dreaming, and you're lucid, it's instant manifestation or almost instant. So, Mandela effect. So, this physical world, which is very much like the dream you have at night, things change strangely. Historically, we've almost always just rolled with it. We didn't catch these changes. Yes, what I'm saying is that the Berenstein Bears might have had 10 different names, and you wouldn't have known any better. Whatever the new name became, it wouldn't have seemed like a change or a shift. The new name would have been to you the name it's always been, and you would have no memory of the past, different changes. However, human consciousness has reached a very special point in its evolutionary history or evolutionary destiny. Human beings on this earth have reached a point in conscious awareness, expanded consciousness, better a better ability to perceive. Our perception has been enhanced, not has been enhanced. Our perception has reached a point where we're starting to perceive things that we previously could not, like changes. Humanity, there's a 100th monkey syndrome going on here too. 100th monkey syndrome. There's if you haven't heard of it, there's been studies with primates, with apes, on islands and stuff, and when a few of the species learn a new task that hasn't been known before, using a tool in a certain way or finding a way to catch fish in a certain way, once a few of the species do, or once enough of the species do that, automatically it's like magic. The whole collective has gained that skill. So anyway, the human race as a whole has collectively reached a point in their evolution where our perception has been is advanced enough now where we're starting to become consciously aware or lucid of these changes in reality. So these Mandela effect changes have been going on forever. We're just now starting to, on a massive scale, become aware. So we perceive these changes. Okay. Another point to this, another component, another aspect is that at this point in our history, with human beings being able to perceive these changes, we are also simultaneously on an important time period for the earth and humans as a whole. And so what I'm trying to say is that this time period we're in now, I'm going to use the term the 2012 time period. So 2012, December, end of the world, end of the Mayan calendar, and all that jazz. The reason that date, and I'm going to call it a time period, not a specific pinpointed date, but that time period, this time period now that we're in, the years around 2012, it's a significant time in our history because the timelines are going to veer off in quite different directions. So timelines, historically, no pun intended, have all been very similar in different ways. There's infinite timelines, but the timelines that humans have a realistic chance of being in and moving to were all somewhat similar for the most part. We can get into this in much more detail if you want in the future. Again, no pun intended. But 2012 time period, all of a sudden, now we're going to use an analogy to simplify things a little bit so that it's easier to follow. The analogy is that there's a 100-lane highway. Let's say that the 100-lane highway, each lane, there are a bunch of cars in every lane, each one of those lanes represents a different timeline. There's a Berenstain Bear, there's a Berenstain Bear, there's a Berenstain Bear with, that's the only Mandela effect ever known. There's a Berenstain Bear where, anyway, the point is there's different timelines with different days going on. 100 of them, 100 lanes. This is an analogy. 100 lanes on the highway, all different timelines. And all of a sudden, 2012 comes. Now, the highway's moving. As the highway's going further and further, that's like time, that's like the years. And it gets to 2012, and it branches off. Again, just an analogy here. 50 cars go in the more positive than negative direction, and 50 lanes go in the more negative than positive direction. So now you have these timelines, and there's 50 moving in the more positive direction, 50 moving in the more negative direction. But as humans, for us to travel through time or space, we literally have to jump timelines. And it gets all crazy, and a lot of people are just like, no, there's no freaking way. It's just such BS. You don't physically move through space. It's impossible. You can't do it. We don't do it. Just like when you're asleep at night having a dream. Your avatar that you're seeing in your mind's eye that's in that dream world that you're experiencing and it feels real, you're not actually moving, are you? You're sleeping in your bed, you're still. But yet your avatar is moving all around. This physical human body is like your soul's avatar moving all around, but it's not moving. So anyway, so you can move from timeline to timeline. That's where you get these weird glitchy things. You're looking for your car keys. They were on the table where you always leave them. They're not there. You're looking around. You can't find them. Can't find them. You come back to the where you started and they're there. Oh, my guardian angel's messing with me. Oh, I had a wow, what a brain fart that was. So shifting timelines, things move around a little bit. So anyway, you got your 50 good lanes, your 50 bad lanes. You're still able to move back and forth. But as the good and the bad move further and further away, these highways diverge and go in opposite directions. It's going to be increasingly more difficult to move from one timeline to the other with regards to the 50% more good than bad versus 50% more bad than good. What do I mean by more good than bad and vice versa? I'm talking about again, a lot of people think this is crazy, crazy, and well, it's what I've come to understand, and I'm glad to share with for those of you who care to listen. And if it sounds like it doesn't match what works for you, just don't worry about it. Get rid of it. Just take what sounds right and seek the truth for yourself. So so you got your more good than bad. Basically, the timelines, the future is not written. You go to a future based on what you think, what you feel, and what you believe, and your actions. Your actions are not as potent. Your beliefs are more potent, and it's not just what you believe, like what you constantly think about. It's what you believe that you don't think about, you don't know about. We don't know a lot of our deep beliefs. It's important to figure those out. Um, so you have your so all these different timelines, all these different possible futures, all these different worlds, different Earths. I mean, yeah, different Earths. Do you think that Berenstein Bears doesn't exist? There is an Earth with people, counterparts of us, other versions of us that are experiencing a timeline where Berenstein Bears is still around. So So you'll find yourself the future. There's worlds where the world is more positive than negative. There's worlds where in the future where Earth is more negative than positive, and it can go to extremes. The extreme on the negative end is something like nuclear annihilation and all life gone, or a meteor like blows up the Earth, or some less scary timelines that are still a lot more negative than positive would be kind of like a prison planet where the a few people control everyone else. And then there's timelines where it's just slightly more negative than positive. That would be similar to what maybe we've had in the last 50 years. 2013, this timeline that you're hearing me from right now, in 2013, for the first time in many, many centuries, the Earth's energy as a whole became slightly more positive than negative. And we're moving in a positive direction at this time. So you have your 50 lanes going towards what you'll call the like the negative side, 50 lanes going towards the positive side. Now you're on one of these timelines. Now the timelines that we're experiencing now are on the other side. We're on the other side, the positive side. We're moving in a positive direction. It doesn't mean that everyone's going to have rainbows and lollipops or whatever the heck you want to say. Because just because you're on the positive side, you can easily be on a timeline where it's going to be 51% positive and 49% negative. It's basically going to be kind of like what it's been the last couple of years for the next century. I'm not saying like technology will stand still. I'm saying that the general vibe, your general level of joy, it's going to be about 51% good. So just a little bit better than neutral. And then there's all these other timelines that are moving into more positive directions. Ultimately, you can get into the highest, best timeline. Best is an opinion, but the highest good timeline where there is human ascension, where humans evolve at a DNA level and literally transform into a different being. Think of a caterpillar turning into a butterfly. Yes, that can happen. Not literally to humans, it's different. But yes, it is the ascension. It has to do with our DNA It has to do with us at a cellular level. It has to do with how much love we can hold and store within our physical vessels. So we're on this the 50 lane, the 50 highway lane on the positive direction. We're there now. For all we know, those you, the other version of you that remembers living in a world where the Berenstain Bears was real, that other version you might be on one of those negative timelines. This Mandela Effect reality timeline, this timeline we're on, where Mandela Effect has become part of our reality, it's a really good thing. Yes, there are some people who have fear-based ideas that there's someone controlling things and manipulating things, and it's bad. But yeah, it is a good thing. It's showing human advancement. It is helping open massive amounts of people's eyes and minds that the physical world is more than it appears. Okay. So I just like to close on an important distinction when it comes to Mandela Effect experiences. The Berenstain Bears didn't pop into your reality. That is not what happened. Why do you think it's so clean? Like all Berenstain evidence is gone. Yeah, you can go on eBay and see the Berenstain Bears for when people actually hand type in the description of the item and you look at the little picture of the movie or whatever they're selling for memorabilia, and it's always Berenstain. It's all gone. So the Berenstain Bears didn't pop into your reality, and the Berenstain Bears popped away. No. You literally moved into an Earth, a world, where the Berenstain Bears is what it's called and has always been. You moved to that world. All right. It's getting long on this video, so I'll see you again. Remember, do one small random act of kindness for someone else, and you can literally change the world. I love you guys.